This is everything I keep inside the cab of my 2005 Land Cruiser 79 series. 1HZ engine, and it's done 519,000, and here it is. The first thing about the seat is that when it clips in place, it doesn't stay, so it just releases. So it has to be in the furthest back position, so that doesn't leave much room. But I do have an idea to solve that, so stick around to the end if you want to see what my plan is for that and if it works out. So, seat up and forward. I've got a bag of recovery gear and jumper cables. So the jumper cables are the only thing in this rear seat pocket, so I'll just push that out of the way quickly. In the middle console at the back, I've got a pair of fencing pliers, which always come in handy. These other mid consoles are fairly boring, but I've got two walkie-talkie radios, basic Zartec ones, my keys for various things that I need, a very small spanner, a size 10 and a size 12. Can do most of the things on a cruiser with that, which is fun. And then for inside the bag. So I've got a pair of gloves, and I've got a bungee strap. I've got a ratchet strap. I think it's got about 800, can take about 800 kgs of force, pretty good. They've worked really well for a lot of different things. I've got the my wired in compressor, which is in the engine bay. I've just got the hose for that and the head for that. I'll just pull that out and show you quickly. Nice ARB one, and the hose is cool too. And then I've got a 5-meter tow strap and a 9-meter snatch strap, and then a couple of peripherals, a couple of hard shackles, a Addis pouring spout for my diesel jerry cans, some tubes. I'm old school, I've got tube tires, not tubeless tires, and some rubber cement in case of a patch. That is definitely not likely to happen alongside the road. I'll definitely be changing tires before patching a tire out for a roadside repair, but it's something you would have to do in the evenings if on a trip. So that's everything on this side, and we'll jump over to the other side quickly. This is what this side looks like. The seat still works, so that's that. We've got a 5-ton jack in here, which, if it's not being used as the only jack, serves well as a primary jack. Good to have a second one available as well, which is the OEM one over here, which is the only piece of gear that came with the vehicle. All of these other pieces, the jack extension rods, and I forget the names of the other thing. This one's called an extension sub-assembly, but basically the thing to get the spare wheel out was not included with the vehicle. And then also the tire iron. Actually, I don't think this is a tire iron. The wrench. Then I've got 2 tire irons over here, both 50 centimeters long, and that is just for the tube tire aspect of what I'm dealing with here instead of tubeless. This is just a red flag that we use for when we chase cattle. Good to have. And then I've also got I forgot from the other side here, it's a bit wedged in on the driver's side, but I have a 4-way wheel spanner as well. And then this piece of rubber that's here isn't really doing much, but it is there. And then when I refurbished the interior here and stripped everything out, I did actually put these dog blankets under the vehicle, under the lining in strategic places. I've got 4 of them in place, which have actually worked out quite nicely. I think they do a bit of sound deadening, and they also make the floor just that little bit softer. While I'm here, I just thought I'd show you my magnetic phone charger, which uses MagSafe, and it just plucks right over there. Works beautifully, even through the biggest bumps. I've also got this Xiaomi 55 watt, I think, adapter, so it can send some pretty good power to that USB-C and then the regular USB. So I use the USB-C mainly for charging the phone. It also does a good job of covering the very bright light that comes out of here. So other chargers didn't do that. This one does, and it also changes color based on how much wattage it's putting out, which is quite interesting. And then I also have a couple more peripheral cables here, the main one being the cable I need to charge my little handheld radios, which I can do on the fly as well. And this space over here works out pretty well for that. In fact, the one with the clip on it sits very snug in there also, even through the bumps. Okay, so onto this idea that I wanted to try. I think, in theory, I can create more space behind myself if I move all of this away and consider putting everything that I need into one of these front runner boxes that I already have. Wonder if it could fit in this way or in this way. Just need to check and see. And that way it'll hold the seat up enough that it supports my back and keep me far enough away from the steering wheel. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so one way doesn't work at all. The other way could work. Let's see. And if I take out this other middle console, the back middle console, the way pointing down could work. So see if this is enough space for me. I doubt it's going to be, although these cruisers are pretty roomy. Okay, that's as far back as I could get the seat there with a whole tub full of things. Nope. That's a strong nope for me. But just eyeballing it, I don't think the other alternative is going to work. It's just like a storage bin kind of thing. Because it's low height, it might work. Okay, so it's just one storage bin over there. I can put the seat quite far back, and I can go back as far as I want. But then you don't really have the benefit of the seat holding you up. So that's what I was hoping with the front runner box, is that its depth would sort of hold the backrest up without it going like that. So, okay, work in progress. Watch this space. Okay, so that mid console is now gone. Moment of truth. Okay, if I wedge it under there, looks like we're going to be good. Push it as far as it goes. Okay. Okay, promising. Yeah. Could work. Looks like the OEM jack is going to get in the way, but because passenger comfort isn't my highest priority, I could just wedge it in here. Looks like I'm fighting a losing battle here. Okay, well that's more snug. Let's see what we can do. Hey, I think we might be onto something here. If all of my recovery kit can fit into that one box. So yeah, let's try and live with that for a little while and see how it goes. Let's see if these fit. Okay, so the stuff that is needed for lowering the spare is now in place. Ooh, this is heavy. Let's see if my new recovery kit box can fit. I don't think that's going to be a problem. What's blocking it now? Oh, there we go. I think we're good. Hey, hey, hey. That works.